Alright everyone, welcome back. I'm going to try to do this in one take because I don't feel like doing any editing, so if I screw up, deal with it. So today in Memphis, we are under a moderate risk and actually lie just west of the boundary for the high risk. The second high risk we've had in just over a week, the second for the month of March. And the last time we had two high risks in the month of March for anywhere in the States, much less the South, was 1991. So if that gives you any idea as to how bad this system is supposed to be that's coming through this afternoon, it's everyone's saying this is the next super outbreak, like this might be a repeat of April 2011, not necessarily in the same areas, but of the same proportions. Because all the severe weather parameters really are maxed out. Like you look at CAPE values, they're upwards of 3,000 joules per kilogram. You look at significant tornado parameters, and they're upwards of 14 to 15 out of 10. So you know something serious is coming down the pipe whenever you have parameters like that for severe weather. Now, like I said, Memphis, not as much as under the gun. However, if you live in the Memphis area, probably still be a good idea to stay alert, but probably the largest risk for us is going to be flooding. So this morning we got our first kind of little round of storms, which really, didn't use any of that convective energy that was in the atmosphere, because we are still primed and ready for another event of some sort. And really all they were just big rain producers. I woke up, I plan on going out and getting some videos, some lightning and stuff, but from what it looked like, they weren't big lightning producers, frequent lightning producers, whatever the case may be. It was just a lot of rain. So for today, my class schedule actually allows me to get out and chase a little bit, but I will not be in the Memphis area. Instead, I plan on going an hour or two east, right along the Mississippi-Tennessee border. So I'm looking at a town called Corinth, Mississippi. That's where I kind of plan to base my little operation out of. And the reason why I like to aim for towns rather than open areas is mainly for the shelter that I may be able to use within a town rather than out in the middle of nowhere where there's just barns, sheds, and ditches. And this threat, the severe weather, looks like it's going to be bringing a large hail threat as well, and I don't want my car to get absolutely rocked by hail. And so I have plans to, if that becomes imminent, that hail is imminent, like I find myself under a hail core and there's just no escaping it, I find a bank or a gas station or something that has a covering you can drive your car up under, and that way I don't destroy my car with hail. But I plan to play it safe for the most part. I just want to get some good pictures, some good videos. I don't know if I want to see a tornado or not, because I've never seen one before. I've been through tons of warnings, but I've never personally seen a tornado. And Dixie Alley is a really, really bad spot to chase because there's not wide open farmland, wide open field like there is out west or even north of Memphis. There's just trees, hills, valleys, like any visual obstruction you can think of probably exists in Dixie Alley. And the tornadoes down here are completely different than they are out west because we have all that really rich, warm moisture that is just constantly fed in through the Gulf of Mexico. And yes, the west kind of taps into that as well, but whenever you get this close to the Gulf, it's a whole new animal. And these are just nasty, violent, rain-wrapped tornadoes. They're the only kinds you're going to get down here. So I plan to, again, stay close to a town, hopefully have a shelter readily available, obviously be watching my radar, and along with that, also watching storm structure. I think what a lot of people get wrong is relying solely on radar and not taking the time to learn storm structure and learn what to look for whenever it comes to watching, spotting, or chasing storms. But anyways, enough about storm chasing. Let's talk about some of the threats that are going to be coming with this storm. So it's a very large area under this moderate risk, and it's obviously a more defined area under the high risk. But even if you're not in the high risk, even if you're not in the moderate risk, there are hazards that are posed to you. For example, further north, like in Indiana and Ohio, there's a huge risk for hurricane force wind gusts tonight and into tomorrow morning. In East Tennessee, y'all have the there's a good chance for y'all to see strong storms, even though you're not within the immediate risk areas. But some places that need to watch out that aren't in the high risk are places like Middle Tennessee. Nashville, they saw a killer tornado, and I know that sounds bad to say because it literally killed people, but they saw a killer tornado last March, a little over a year ago. If I'm not mistaken, it was early morning hours of March 3rd is whenever they saw that tornado. And our current parameters for that area are higher than they were that day. And so I urge everyone, if you live anywhere in Middle Tennessee, anywhere in Mississippi, anywhere in Alabama for that matter, like, y'all need to really keep an eye out for what's to come. Like West Middle Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. It is imperative that you guys stay weather aware all day. Because last week I made a video and I mentioned storm of the decade, and even though these storms weren't necessarily super powerful, like we didn't see any fatalities and hardly any injuries, as of current tornado reports, current storm reports, there were 61 tornadoes reported that day. 61 tornadoes that have been confirmed by the National Weather Service. And today's parameters are higher than they were that day, which is why I'm making such a big deal out of it. I know I said again last week, storm of the century, but guys, this one's really looking like it. It's really looking like it, especially with tornadoes. Like, it's rare that you see these severe weather parameters just so maxed out, these tornado parameters so maxed out. Like, that's not something you just see. That doesn't just happen. Like, this is, it's freaking serious. I don't know how else to put it. There are some outstanding YouTubers right now who are making, daily forecasts on this stuff, and some of them even updating by the hour. One of my favorites to watch is Brian Hall. All you have to do on YouTube is search Brian Hall, and I'll leave a link in the description of this video to his channel. And whenever we have events like this, or even minor severe weather events, he'll go live and keep everyone updated on everything going on. So anyway, around 12:31, I plan on getting on the road, shooting east. Hopefully I can get there before the storms start initiating, or at least catch one in the act. And then it's gonna be really 3 rounds of storms. So one around that time, and then basically what's 2 linear modes following that. And mid to late afternoon is whenever we're gonna start seeing those discrete supercells start forming up. But you always have the chance for embedded supercells within the linear modes, within the squall lines. And even if you don't see tornadoes, you have the possibility for a bow echo to form, which have damaging straight line winds that can be as powerful as some of the winds found in a tornadic storm. So threats lie everywhere with this. If you live anywhere in West into Middle Tennessee, northern to even really all of Mississippi, and then parts of central to northern Alabama, y'all really need to keep an eye out today into tonight. This is going to be a multi-round event. It's not going to be one round and then, okay, we're done. It's round after round after round. So with that being said, I hope everyone keeps an eye to the sky, stays safe, stays weather aware. Like I mentioned last time, there's radar-specific apps that you can get on your phone that provide extremely detailed information in their radar scans. So instead of just having, your regular WeatherBug app, which, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, but you can't get nearly the amount of information that you really need in a situation like that. So again, I recommend downloading either Radar Scope or Radar Omega. Both are less than $10 to download, and they have all kinds of features to analyze every part of the storm that you can on a mobile phone. So again, stay safe. Doesn't matter where you are in the southeast today. Keep an eye to the sky. Stay weather aware. Check out my Instagram page. It's the same name as my YouTube channel. And I'll be posting updates there throughout the day on tornado watches, any warnings in my area. Now, obviously, I'm not going to cover the whole South, but in my area, I'll be putting up any warnings, whether they're flash flood warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, whatever the case may be. But any watches, any mesoscale discussions, wherever in the South, I'll be putting those up on my Instagram page. But again, YouTubers like Brian Hall, they'll be live streaming. And then again, just have a weather radio. That's another thing I forgot to mention. Have a weather radio. You can get an excellent one for less than $50. That is solar powered, battery powered. You can power it up with a crank. Has a flashlight, has AM/FM radio, and obviously has the National Weather Service and NOAA frequencies that you can program into it and listen to throughout your day to make sure nothing's coming your way. Okay, that's all I have for today. I hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.